New dispatches are popping up all over the place, containing nuggets of info as to why the Rupture Strain may have been disabled, and of course, it's wrapped up in comedic democratic propaganda. We've also just been presented with an opportunity to chase after 2 new stratagems, but beware, this one is wrapped up with a major plot twist you definitely want to stick around for. Of course, for all of this and more, I've got you covered. Please hit subscribe and ring the notifications bell to help support the channel, and it's time for more Helldivers. Okay, so there's a lot happening inside of the game right now, and much of it can or will be missed if you're just moving around too fast. But thankfully, that's where FandomWire steps in to assist. Here's what they say. Arrowhead might have secretly acknowledged Helldiver 2's biggest problem in Rupture Strain removal lore. Helldiver 2's latest in-universe news report reveals Arrowhead's hidden technical confession wrapped in brilliant Super Earth propaganda. Arrowhead just delivered the most genius piece of satirical writing since Super Earth declared victory over common sense. The latest Stroman news report explaining the Rupture Strain disappearance might seem like standard in-universe propaganda, but eagle-eyed freedom fighters spotted something brilliant hidden in plain sight. The report mentions severe lapses in expended firepower per second among 𝗃 units, a cleverly disguised acknowledgement of the FPS drops plaguing Helldiver 2's players, regardless of which faction they're fighting. Classic Arrowhead, turning community complaints into comedic gold while maintaining their satirical facade. The community response has been overwhelmingly positive, making a rare moment of unity among democracy's finest defenders. Despite numerous heated debates about the Rupture Strain removal already, one thing everyone agrees on is Arrowhead's mastery of their craft. The Helldivers 2 writing team continues delivering pitch-perfect parody that transforms real technical issues into believable Super Earth propaganda. I can totally confirm that statement. The writing team over at Arrowhead nails it every single time. The phrase firepower per second works on multiple levels too. Technically, it could refer to actual combat metrics, but any veteran diver recognizes the obvious nod to frame rate issues. Only a comedically corrupt government would measure military effectiveness in such absurd terms. Absolutely brilliant observation. The metric sounds plausible enough for Super Earth's bureaucracy while remaining completely ridiculous to anyone with functioning brain cells. The launch time cryogenic failure explanations remain legendary, while the DSS orbital bombardment's heroic sacrifice messaging came much later when the Democracy Space Station treated everyone on the ground as valid targets. Both showcase Arrowhead's genius for turning technical disasters into satirical gold. Community manager Baskinator announced the 5-week hiatus via Discord, but this timeline creates an interesting lore situation. High Command hasn't officially acknowledged any timeline for the bug's return, meaning the Rupture Strain's late October reappearance will catch Super Earth by surprise. The timing also suggests Arrowhead might bundle the improved Rupture Strain with broader technical fixes, one can hope. 5 weeks provide enough development time to address the performance issues that spawned this whole satirical masterpiece. They go on to say the Star Wars references are practically writing themselves. October's gonna be meme central when these bugs suddenly evolve back into existence. Now that's the kind of vengeful enthusiasm Super Earth loves to see. The idea of Helldivers bursting from underground with perfect accuracy feels like poetic justice for weeks of unfair targeting mechanics. Whether the improved enemies return with proper balance or just different flavors of chaos remains democracy's greatest mystery. Either way, Arrowhead has proven yet again that they can turn community frustration into comedic brilliance without missing a beat. As always, I'll include a link to today's FandomWire article down in the video description in case you want to check it out for yourselves. But here yet again, we are getting hit with all sorts of comedic dispatch lore drops and notes and dates as well. Now the first of these can again be found as part of the in-game dispatch system discussing the terminated Rupture Strain receding. Again, here's what it says. The subterranean enemy has caused significant degradation of 𝗃 performance and severe lapses in expended firepower per second among 𝗃 units. And the truth behind this dispatch is that ever since the Into the Unjust update went live with the new bugs on 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, firepower per second, or FPS as in frames per second, has been suffering badly. We saw wide-scale reports coming in from all over the place, even from me, when I was recording, of frames going from 60 FPS down to like 15 or 20 when someone set off a specific orbital explosion or there was just too much going on around you while near or in a cave. I also received more than a few messages telling me the real reason Arrowhead chose a 5-week vacation for the Rupture Strain is because it would mean they would return on Helldivers Liberty Day, which I do agree would be a super spicy narrative addition, but the math here is slightly off, as 5 weeks from yesterday puts their return on October 22nd, and Liberty Day is October 26th. But who knows exactly what is going to happen with those bugs and when they return, and just how involved they may be in or possibly around a significant day for Helldivers history. But one thing's for sure, it's going to be interesting. Let's keep that theme going of interesting, because the Helldivers army, bolstered now by the Team Green recruits, are getting their first taste of spilling bot oil in the name of a sanctioned major order. And thanks to that overall collective might, we've already liberated 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏 and have now moved over to 𝗕cie, with it now nearing 80% liberated. Now, once that one is finished, our third and final prize of Mentoria will open up and be available for liberation. So that progress here that we're showing is exceptional, which leads me to our next topic. New side objectives have just been added to the game, labeled as new strategic opportunities. Now, there's a whole in-game lore write-up for this. You'll find it down in your dispatch section of your game, based on discarded materials on 2 planets, which include 𝗲𝗏𝗶𝘀𝗶 5 and 𝗏𝗶𝘀𝗃 4. And since we're in this all-out blitz currently ongoing versus the bots, we just don't have spare materials to make this thing happen. But as the order says, if we go and liberate either of these 2 planets I just mentioned, it will facilitate us gaining access to either abandoned emancipator exosuit factories or a bunch of unexploded orbital munitions left over from the first galactic war. And it looks like this new target of opportunity has already started to pull some eager divers away from 𝗕cie and over there looking for either a new mech or orbitals. But here's where you want to pay close attention, because we've got some new intel from Helldivers HQ, courtesy of community manager 𝗵𝗔𝗏𝑚𝑖s, that may slow down that chase after either of these 2 planets. Here's what he said in response to someone asking why Arrowhead wouldn't just simply tell us exactly what it was we were going after in terms of a new mech or a new orbital. Here's his response. There is no new stratagem. It's a little unclear, clearly, but it will unlock either an orbital or a mech from the existing pool for the future when you may need it more. Definitely a letdown. I mean, the wording here is off and somewhat misleading. And for me, I probably read it the same as you did and began thinking of what a new orbital or a new mech could be. But if we do achieve victory on either of these 2 planets, a new whatever it may be is not what is going to happen here. I'm thinking this may be attached in the future to the DSS, or it could be like when we're authorized a 5th stratagem for liberations or defenses for like 24 or 48 hours, something like that. And of course, now the question becomes, are divers still going to stay over there on 𝗲𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 5 or 𝗏𝗶𝘀𝗃 4 and chase after those, dividing our forces and of course slowing down the liberation of 𝗕cie? Or, now armed with this new information, are they going to just immediately abandon that orbital mech chase and go straight back to 𝗕cie, only to return for one of those stratagems, time allowing? Drop me a comment and let's see where the community lands on this topic. I'm genuinely interested to see what's going to happen now that you're armed with that new information. Are divers still going to stay over there on 𝗲𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 5 or 𝗏𝗶𝘀𝗃 4, or are they just going to abandon all of that, go straight back over to 𝗕cie, and absolutely just blitz this major order? I'm definitely interested to see what you have to say, and of course, I'm going to do my best to respond. Before we go, I would like to send out a heartfelt thank you to all of my channel members and viewers. Your response to my recent Helldivers content has been awesome to see, and as they say, as long as you keep watching them, I'll keep posting them. Just in case you haven't done so already, please consider hitting subscribe and ringing the notifications bell to receive my future upload alerts. And until the next one, this is 𝗷𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏